My name is David Hiscock and I'm the Deputy Head of the Market Practice and Regulatory Policy team here at ICMA, a role that I've been fulfilling for several years now. Key part of what I do is to work with what we call the Regulatory Policy Committee. This is an overarching group that looks at the different regulatory measures that are being put in place across financial markets at the moment as we attempt to find a way to better regulate the market so that it can deliver the benefits that it undoubtedly is able to bring, whilst at the same time avoiding the possibility that that can happen in a way that potentially could lead to damaging or harmful consequences of the sort that we've experienced during the financial crisis of the past few years. The group, the Regulatory Policy Committee, consists of heads of government affairs, regulatory relations teams, compliance people, senior people from member firms who are capable of bringing together overall views of this programme of reform and really contributing to the way in which that's being formulated. In addition to those overall responsibilities, I'm involved in some of the more detailed and specific technical work that we're doing here. In particular, getting involved with groups who are focused on the short end of the financing markets. A couple of those groups that we focus on here at ICMA. One is the ECP group, the Euro Commercial Paper group, which brings together dealers from the ECP market, a market where we originate paper in order to bring money from investors to meet the financing needs of particular companies, both in unsecured form and in its secured format, asset-backed commercial paper, which is a special form of that has come under some scrutiny because certain of those types of secured structures were part of where problems lay in the financial crisis, but a very important structure that can still provide a very valuable avenue for real businesses to finance their needs. And the other area of the short-term financing markets that I get involved with is the so-called repo market, the repurchase agreements market, which we at ICMA are very heavily engaged with through our European Repo Council, its committee and various working groups. Something that is central these days to the way that financial markets are working. The new system that the regulators have been putting in place is one that's very much based upon having secured exposures in order to avoid that large amounts of unsecured exposure are building up across the markets. And that requires collateral to put that security in place, and the repo market is the channel through which that collateral can be sourced, through which it flows around the market. And so it plays a really important and central role as the financing vehicle for markets activity these days, and is one of the most important elements of what ICMA is involved in doing.